back to Pizza Bagels.
Time to be alive.
I know.
Here we are. Pizza bageling again.
I know.
It's a double, baby.
I know.
I love it.
Another Monday, another fun day.
Hell yeah. So we're doing a continuation from our last 90s episode.
Mm-hmm. Part two, baby.
Part two, baby cakes.
Mm-hmm.
I know you love that baby cakes.
I feel like that was a term, right, from the 90s, maybe?
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're keeping it real.
Hell yeah. So I know we talked about it, but 90s, I think, most iconic decade.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And again, and maybe it feels biased. I mean, maybe our folks are like, no, the 80s were better, or 70s.
Were they? I mean, 70s was like, we're on so much cocaine.
So much
80s
cocaine.
was like, oh, look at our stupid clothes. We just got off of so much cocaine. And then 90s were like, let's settle down with the fucking cocaine and get sad about it. And it was like grunge and so fun. And then 2000s on has been trash.
I mean, listen,
Absolute
there's got to be good times to the 2000s. I mean, maybe we'll have somewhere down the line we'll do a 2000s episode. I don't know.
Will we?
I mean, there's nothing
I'd be
really
okay if we
that's
didn't.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, there's nothing that really like sticks out too much.
So 90s, oh man, huge fan. What year were you born?
85.
85. So I was born in 81.
Okay.
Okay, so we sort of grew up in the 90s.
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, I mean,
teen years.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. All right, so let's get right fucking into it.
Yeah, let's not waste any time.
90s.
We have lots to go over still.
tits.
Okay.
Not just tits. Like, who was your 90s crush?
Ooh, probably
Not Pam Anderson.
No,
I
no,
know
no,
she
no.
had big old fucking titties for the first time ever, but
First one that comes to mind, Christina Ricci.
really,
Yeah, Addams Family, Casper.
wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought she
I mean, I
was
can
a
see
total
that for
babe.
you.
Yeah. And then
You guys are
obviously,
approximately the same size. She's pretty pale.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think
still think
she's
she's
for
attractive.
everybody,
No,
but I could totally see that for
Yeah.
sure.
I still think she's very attractive.
I agree. Man,
Yep.
for me, in the 90s, fucking Kathy Ireland.
Oh, wow.
Bro. Holy fuck, did I jerk off to Kathy Ireland a lot.
I don't think I ever jerked off to Christina Ricci. Especially being in the 90s. There's a
I'm
quick
like,
silence
this
there.
is a lot to unpack.
I mean, being a teenage boy and jerking off to fucking literally everything, I cannot remember a time that I actually jerked off to Christina Ricci.
You know what? A nod to Christina Ricci. I don't think she is like classically someone you would jerk off to.
No.
I agree she's hot, but I'm not like, oh yeah, you want that bitch. Like, I'm not fucking cranking one to Christina Ricci. Now, Kathy Ireland, lot of semen. So much frothy semen. I mean, that was back, but let's think about the 90s. Like, that's when Cameron Diaz was brand new and hot as fuck.
So that also crossed my mind. You know, her first movie was The Mask. Like, actual
know
movie.
that.
Before that, she did,
Bro,
like...
she was gorgeous in that movie.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh my
That was
God.
like a huge crush.
So
like
hot.
Before that, she was doing modeling, and she made a few movies or videos of like BDSM, like bondage
What?
kind of porn. Like nothing like crazy, but definitely like the leather get up, tits hanging out, swinging whips.
I didn't know that.
That was all before The Mask. And
How did I
then
not know that?
I don't know.
I'm gonna jerk off to fucking 90s porn later.
Do it.
Wow.
I remember like when Napster first came out.
Hell yeah.
And I like looked up like you can I remember downloading a picture of Cameron Diaz like nude, and it was from her like a modeling picture, but like that took so long.
Oh yeah.
It took like almost all night for that to download.
Oh baby, you want to go fucking download speeds in the 90s? Let's talk about America Online.
Oh, yeah,
Holy
dude.
Shit. I remember I had
You got mail.
Yeah, I remember
I wish I had like a little like a button thing, like an app. Like usually all the Crump's usually the one that's good that has those.
right. There was I remember my mom would give me like 30 minutes a week online in the 90s, and she'd be like, you have 30 minutes to go on the internet, and I would go and download a video game for my 30 minutes, and I would spend like 4 minutes searching for it, and then I would have 26 minutes left to download it.
Yeah.
And I remember it downloading at like 3.7 kilobytes per second.
Yeah.
Which is so fucking slow. It was just, and then like it'd be 20 minutes later, and my mom would pick up the phone, and I'd be like, "You dumb bitch!
Yeah.
Like, you fucking ruined it!
Yeah.
I want 20 more minutes." And she's like, "You're not getting 20 more minutes, asshole." And I'm like, "Get off the phone!"
Yeah.
You've ruined it.
Because then it just completely fucking pauses your download.
Yep.
And then once you get back on, and then you have to like hit like a refresh.
Yeah. Oh my god! And those noises when you had to go online with it.
My god! Yeah.
Yeah. So fucking loud. Yeah, why was that necessary? There was no reason to have those noises. You could have just had that on mute.
That's just the sound that it makes to connect to space.
We are connecting to the internet.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my god, this is the height of technology. These noises. These noises are connecting me to other people who basically just wanted to have cyber sex. Do you remember that?
Oh, the chat rooms?
Oh, dude, it was all fucking...
Yeah, I feel like every dude would go into like a lesbian chat room pretending to be a lesbian and be like, let's trade pics.
Yeah, and then be like, oh, well, I have this hard dick too. And they're like, as a lesbian who was in that room, I'm like, that's rude. But yeah, it was outrageous. Cleveland Freenet. Do you remember Cleveland Freenet?
No.
That was before AOL. That was straight text. There was no pictures, nothing. It was straight text. That's all it was. Yeah. So that's where I got introduced to cyber sex, was in these chat rooms where people would like, hey, how old are you? And I'm like, 12. And they're like, cool. And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, are you a dude? And I'm like, uh-huh. And they're like, even better. And I'm like, great. Do you want to be best friends? And they're like, yeah. That sounds like a great idea for us. And I'm like, yeah, me too. Like, I don't have a lot of friends. This sounds awesome. And they're like, I'm stroking my cock right now. And I was like, you're what? Yeah. It just got out of hand real fast.
You know what? I probably shouldn't be on here.
Yeah. I have a 14-inch dick. I'm like, that's really weird. That's like 7 times longer than my dick. Like, that sounds...
Does mine get to be that big?
Yeah, that sounds like unbearable. Like, where do you put it when you wear shorts? You know, like asking all these inquisitive, like 11-year-old questions, and the dude's just like, I'm gonna come, and I'm like, that's weird.
It would have been funnier though if he went soft. Like you're asking him all these questions.
And he's like boring.
Yeah, he's like,
holy shit.
Okay, I just lost my boner.
This is the worst cyber I've ever had. And I hope you kill yourself. And I'm like, aw. Sorry, Cyber Mike 6969, that I couldn't keep your dick hard.
Oh, dude, those were crazy times. The fucking chat rooms and,
my God.
And just literally downloading anything. Like I remember because when like Napster got shut down, then there was like LimeWire and like FrostWire and there was like another one, Kazaa. And same things like like Austin Powers 2 like just came out in the theaters like a week ago, and it's like, I can download this movie.
But it'll only take 27 hours.
Yeah. I would literally do it like right before bed and then just let it download all night long.
And then the next night you're like, oh shit, I hope that didn't get interrupted.
Yeah.
So I can watch this movie.
Well, I would wake up in the morning before school and I'd be like, it stopped at 57%.
Yeah.
And then I'd have to like refresh it, hoping that my mom would never pick up the phone during the day while I'm at school.
Right.
But of course, that's not gonna happen. So it took like 10 times to finally get 100% on it, and then fucking get to watch a bootleg ass version of Austin Powers 2.
It's like super shitty.
Yeah.
The voice doesn't match up to the mouths, and it's all fucking crookedy the whole way.
Cameras shaking around everywhere.
Yeah, like somebody's recording it from their movie seat. You see people like walking by.
Oh yeah, coughing.
And usher comes over, and the person like puts it down on the ground, and you're like looking at popcorn and like a condom on the ground. Like, I'm pretty sure that's not what happened in Austin Powers. But yeah. But
Well,
movies in the 90s.
Oh, okay.
The fucking best.
Oh yeah, fucking absolutely.
So I watched a interview online with Keanu Reeves, who I love.
Yeah, fantastic.
Love Keanu Reeves. And it was with Stephen Colbert. And the question that Stephen Colbert asked him was, if you could make a sequel to any of your movies, even if it's already had sequels, if it's a franchise, whatever, if you could make one more, what would it be? And his answer was Constantine.
I figured he was going to say Constantine.
Yeah, which he mulled over for a minute. It took him some time, and he really thought about it. And by the way, he seems like the coolest fucking guy. He seems like the greatest guy. Like, I saw a picture, it randomly showed up on my social media, of some chick that was doing, like, cosplay, and got a picture, and she was like, holy shit, me and Keanu Reeves. And whenever he's in pictures, he does the most amazing thing when he's taking a picture with a chick, where, like, the chick will put her arm around his waist, and then he will put his arm to her side, but if you look in the picture, he's never touching her.
Oh, yeah, he
holds it out to the side because he doesn't want to make her uncomfortable.
Well, it's like,
or be like inappropriately touching.
Well, I think it's a safe cause for him. So there's no allegations. So
but he's done that his whole career. Like, he's always done that, and it's such a class act move. But anyway, I don't want to get super off track. But when Stephen Colbert was asking him, well, let me ask you, what is your favorite Keanu Reeves movie? Because there's so fucking many.
He's got a ton.
Bro.
And listen, Constantine was a great fucking movie when that came out. There's actually one that I grew up...
John Wicks are tits.
Yeah.
They're so fucking good.
I mean, there's Bill and Ted.
There's Bill and Ted.
What's the... what the fuck?
He was in Parenthood. Do you remember Parenthood with Steve Martin?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even remember him doing that.
If I was in the crowd with Stephen Colbert, I would have been the guy who's like, Parenthood, and he would have laughed his balls off. Because it wouldn't be a good movie for a sequel.
So, I remember watching as a kid through the 90s, and I actually think the movie was made in the 80s. It was called The Night Before. And I think that he probably had to be like somewhere between like 18 and probably 22.
Okay.
And it's basically, he's kind of a dorky guy in school. He asks like the hottest girl out to go out to like prom. He goes and picks her up, and they end up getting lost driving from picking her up to the high school, because apparently back in those days, your high school is 4 cities away.
Right.
You know, in the 80s. Yeah.
From there,
So you have to get on highways, you know,
Right.
and then basically he actually gets off an exit, and then it's now in the ghetto, and then all of the hilarities ensue, or all the chaos. But fantastic 80s film.
I don't think I've ever seen it.
No, I don't think a lot of people have.
I will definitely watch it, though. But do you remember Johnny Mnemonic?
Was that his... Oh, no. I was thinking that was his character name.
Yeah, it was.
It was his character
name was Johnny... Well, his last name wasn't Mnemonic, but, I mean... You know
what was that from?
It was from the night. You know what a mnemonic device is? It's like a thing that makes you think of other things.
Right.
Is a mnemonic device, and it's spelled MNEMONIC. It starts with an M, which is crazy for the language. But the whole premise of the movie was he was like not exactly an assassin, but he would steal data from people and upload it into his brain. And then he would sell it to people that wanted the information and download it from his brain into them.
I definitely have not seen this.
Bro, it is the greatest movie from the 90s.
Okay.
It's the greatest. There's a dolphin that is a huge part of the movie, just so you know.
I mean, that sounds
like a
very
super
90s.
brainy dolphin. Yeah, bro, it's awesome.
And also Johnny Utah.
Oh, my God.
Speed.
Oh, bro.
Yeah.
Johnny Utah. Give me 2. So fucking good.
Yeah, he had a lot of really great movies.
Speed was so fucking good. And that's when Sandra Bullock was crazy hot. I had a poster of her in my bedroom. I had a poster of Sandra Bullock in my room, and a poster of, what's her name? Posh Spice. Victoria Beckham.
Yeah.
Legs for days, baby. Holy shit, was she hot.
I remember like in the 90s.
and a poster of the NBA Dream Team.
Yeah, naturally.
Yeah, when they used to play the Olympics.
Yeah.
Fucked. Yeah.
I remember always saying like, pop quiz, hot shot.
Pop quiz. it's Hot Shot.
Yeah, and then asking my friends
Dennis
something
Hopper.
stupid.
So fucking good.
Even like when did you ever see Knock Knock?
Oh, you know what? I haven't. It's in my queue at home. That's the one where he's like at his house and like two broads show up.
Yeah.
I've had it in my. So, all right, maybe you can throw a little insight in here. This is what my life is like. Like when I'm at home without Jen, I'm looking for something to watch. I scroll through all these things. It takes me fucking forever to get through them. And then I find a movie that sounds awesome, but I go, Jen would also like to see that. So I hit the save for later, and then I continue scrolling through other movies.
And then do you forget about it?
No,
Okay.
I berate her
To
for
fucking watch it?
Yeah, like what? How fucking long? When did that movie come out? Like probably 2015. Knock Knock came out.
I mean, probably
8 fucking years ago. And I'm sitting here like, hey babe, do you want to watch that yet? Like, I've been waiting for 8 fucking years to watch it. Can we fucking watch it? And she's like, yeah, I kind of watch. I want to watch 90 Day Fiance. Like, you bitch.
I do that with stuff for Jess. I'm like, Jess is probably gonna like this.
Yeah,
and
it's important, I think.
Right, and then so I do save it, and I'm like, Jess, I saw this thing, or I'll send her the trailer for it. She's like, that does look awesome, and we'll watch it. There are times that we will talk about a movie in like conversation somewhere down the line, but then like a few weeks passes by, and then someone's like, yo, have you seen this movie? She's like, yeah, it's so good. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, we talked about watching this. You watched it without me? And she's like, oh, yeah, so I did, and I forgot to tell you. I'm like, well, like, when am I going to have time to actually go back and watch this movie now? But she's also usually pretty good about, like, yo, I started watching this movie, only got 10 minutes in, sounds like something you're definitely going to love. And then we'll sit down and watch the whole movie together. So there's just going to be certain times it's going to happen.
Yeah. Man, I am still, I know we talked about this before, and I don't mean to jump away from the 90s, but holy fuck. Jen and I watched a movie the other night, and she did every possible thing to fucking piss me off while we were watching the movie. First of all, she's on her phone the entire time, which I don't really give a fuck what you're doing, but when your fucking phone lights up your stupid face while I'm trying to watch a goddamn movie, it's so annoying. Like, I'm trying to be immersed into a movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's just like her fucking face lights up, and I'm like, you dumb bitch. Like, what are you possibly posting about that's important? And then she's like, I'll be right back. 3 minutes into the movie, and I'm like, what the fuck
are you pausing
doing
it
now? No. And then she says, you don't have to pause it. I'm like, great. I can't wait until you get back and ask me what fucking happened.
Well, does she care about that movie specifically?
No, she doesn't care about any
fucking
fucking movies.
Okay.
She's just that person. And then she goes into the fucking kitchen and she turns on the dishwasher,
which is now making a bunch of background commotion.
While I'm trying to immerse myself into a goddamn film. Why can't you run it while we're sleeping? Like, you could turn that on in 2 fucking hours. What do you think's gonna happen if the dishwasher runs while we sleep? Is the house gonna flood? You idiot.
I mean, it might.
Could it? Really,
you never know.
The house is gonna flood from the fucking dishwasher.
Could be something out of fucking, like, James and the Giant Peach, and you guys are now floating around in the water, and you have to, like, open a window and swim your way out.
Fine, Tony, that's possible. So let's also imagine that Jen turned on the fucking dishwasher while we're watching a movie on the couch, and then the house floods. What do you want me to do now?
Well, you're gonna probably ask her.
What am I going to build a fucking ark? I don't know what to do.
She'll tell you she doesn't need you to pause it. Don't pause it. It's fine.
Don't pause it. I'm just gonna raft my way into the garage and have a cigarette, and then I'm gonna ask you a bunch of questions about what happened when I get back. I'm just gonna be like, you bitch. It's fucking outrageous. Anyway.
Well, as we were saying before, we are on episode 2 of the 90s.
The 90s.
Speaking of cum.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's get back to the basics.
Right. So if you didn't catch the last episode, the Bagel and I, we have like a list of little things, papers like in a hat that are different topics from the 90s: food, TV, books, places, etc. We're pulling one out, pull one from like our list, and then just kind of talk it out. And hopefully you guys get the same nostalgic, flavor that we get.
Yeah. All right, before we pull one, I want to ask you one category we have not discussed yet.
Okay.
Video games.
Video games is on here.
Is it?
Yeah. Yeah, there's
Cool.
So I guess let me go back through this if you didn't catch the last episode. The topics are food, drinks, toys, games, which goes for video games and or board games.
Sure. And or Beanie Babies, which we'll get into.
Right. So then there's also fads and fashion. There's like random things that just kind of don't fit into a category. There's TV, movies, music, places, books, and tits, as you've known Cone to say. That
I do enjoy those tits.
Tits are like the crushes that we had, growing up.
Big ones, small ones, middle ones. Have you ever seen a pair of tits you didn't want to look at?
In person?
Yeah.
No.
Me either.
Because even if they're not great boobs, I'm like, it's still boobs.
Bro. Even if it's the most disgusting person you've ever seen in your life, you're just like,
yeah, I'll still take a look at them. Yeah, I still want to see your boobs.
I'd have a look.
Yeah, I'll have a look.
You're like a doctor. Yeah. I would take a look. Yeah. I'm a fucking physician. Sure. Yeah. Let me see those nips. Yeah.
Let's make sure that they're in the right perks.
Yep.
What'd you call the perks?
Yep.
Angles. All right, well, Mr. Bagel, you gonna pull this first one here?
Oh, I love pulling it. Let's do it,
bet
baby.
you do. Well, that's what we talked about in the last episode.
Speaking of Kathy Ireland, I used to pull it a lot.
All right, so what do we got here?
Love it. Music.
Okay, music.
Great.
What do you got? Is there anything that like strict? Like, I mean, obviously, I think we listen to 90s music pretty often.
Do you want me to go first?
Yeah.
Good.
You pulled. So
okay.
like, it doesn't necessarily have to be like, let's talk about Blues Traveler or whatever. Like, let's go on.
All right. First of all, I met John Popper.
Nice.
Yeah. I thought he was dead.
Yeah. Seemed like it.
I bet somebody that he was like a person. I was working in a bar downtown in Cleveland, and somebody I was managing this bar, and this guy walked in and he was like, "Hey, are you the manager?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And he's like, I'm on John Popper's touring van outside, and he needs 2 buckets of ice. And I was like, "Oh, does he now?" I'm like, "Hey, dummy, run your game somewhere else. That dude died like 5 fucking years ago." He overdosed on heroin, you idiot. And the guy was like, "Did he?" And I'm like, "Yeah, he did." And he's like, "I'll bet you 2 buckets of ice he didn't." And I was like, "I'm going to grab these 2 buckets of ice.
What a great wager.
And I'm going to bring them out to the bus, and I'm going to drop them out the goddamn window when John Popper isn't there." And I grabbed 2 buckets of ice, and I walked on, and I was like, "Holy shit.
It's John Popper."
He died. And he was like, "I didn't." And I was like, "Oh, shit."
He has harmonica.
John Popper. Yeah.
He's blowing on the harmonica. I was saying like,
yeah.
"No, I didn't."
Right, exactly. Suck it in. Yeah, it was so good.
So, all right, so go on. Yeah, let's. You take the first pull here. Like 90s music. Like, what's any of it? Like, what's coming to you first?
First concert I ever went to.
Okay.
Green Day. The
Mine also.
album. No shit.
Yeah, my first concert was also Green Day.
What year?
94.
Same.
Yeah.
At Blossom.
Yes.
Are you fucking
We went to the
kidding
same
me?
show.
That was your first concert?
Yeah, my very first concert.
That was my
yeah,
first concert.
My babysitter took me.
Oh my God. I went with my mom, my uncle, and my best friend, Jacob, at the time. It was the first time I ever smelled weed. It was the first concert I ever went to, and I touched a girl's butt while I was there. Like in a gross, like, sexually inappropriate way.
Sure.
Yeah, I was just like, we were walking out.
Naturally.
I was like, look at that. Look at those cheeks, and just fucking grabbed one.
Did you do it like in Home Alone, where like squeezes the lady's butt in Home Alone 2 in New York, and then he blames it on like
I 100%
the sticky bandits?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, Jacob was my sticky bandit. I just literally just squoze a cheek, and then she like whipped her fucking head around, and I just pointed at Jacob. He was like a foot taller than I was, and I was like, "Look at that fucking asshole!" And she was like, "What a fucking asshole!" Yeah. Yeah, but that was holy shit. You went to the
Yeah, we were at the same one. Yeah, that was also my first concert.
Green Day Dookie tour. That was my first ever concert. So Green Day for sure. And then for me, the greatest 90s influence for me was Weezer. The Blue album.
Yeah, that was fantastic.
It was so fucking, it's still so fucking
Oh yeah,
good.
I still listen to it on a regular basis.
Same. It's so fucking good.
What's funny is that like when Weezer came out with that Blue album, I had to be in like 3rd or 4th grade, I think. And my mom and I went to the mall, and we went to probably either Sam Goody or Camelot, which then became FYE. And I used my allowance to buy the Blue album on cassette.
Nice.
And then we went to my aunt's house, and I immediately ran right to her. Do you remember those like big giant stereos everyone had, like the big speakers and like
6 disc CD changer?
Yeah, there's like 10 layers of fucking different things, all the tuners and all that shit. Yeah.
Yep.
And like just literally popping that tape in and like just like listening to it.
It was so good.
And with Green Day, which is still my favorite album to this day.
Dookie?
Nope, Insomniac.
Okay.
But I
now hold on.
What?
One big thing for the Dookie album. Do you remember the hidden track?
Oh yeah.
The 99 track?
It's the
I was alone. I was all by myself.
Yeah.
No one was looking.
I was thinking of you.
Yeah, did I mention I was all by myself?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. I came in your house. No one was there.
It was all over your stuff.
Yep. I went in your room. I was all by myself. It's so fucking good. Oh my god.
I like Green Day is still like one of my favorite bands. I mean, I have my fucking Kerplunk tattoo.
Yeah.
And what's funny is that, and I was actually going to bring this story, if we got to a different category in this, but since we're talking about Green Day, it all kind of fits together. Do you remember Pogs?
I never got into it, but I do know what they are.
Really? Okay. So you remember like you have like a slammer, and you throw them down, they flip over, you get them. So had a huge Pogs collection, and I went over to my buddy EJ's house, and he lived with his grandma, and the Dookie album was out for not that long, so he had the CD. I hadn't got a chance to buy it yet. But we were over at his house, and we're playing Pogs, right?
Yeah.
And the cool thing about Pogs is, like, people would be like, the best ones were, like, ones that had skulls on them, or, like, the 8 balls, like, stuff like that. And the one day I go over his house, he goes, let's play for keeps.
Oh, shit.
And I'm like,
that's, like, big time.
Yeah, because, like, if you lose them, they're gone. That's
not
it.
Yours.
Yeah. They're no longer yours.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right. I'm like, what are we playing with? And he's like, let's go 8 balls. I was like, phew.
Even bigger time.
Yeah, I'm like,
holy
okay.
Fuck.
So and I had like a pretty cool slammer.
This is like you're gonna cry afterwards if you lose.
I'm gonna get there.
Okay, sorry, I didn't mean to steal your sad thunder. But
so regular slammers were like, I don't know, they're like
$half size.
Yeah, about that. Maybe a little bit bigger and also thicker. But then they started coming out with like heavier ones that were different shapes. There was like one called like a tornado, and it was like more of like a stand kind of thing. And he just bought one of those, and he was so stoked to use it and take all my 8 balls.
Was that like the big Pog? Like, does that beat other Pogs?
What, the slammer?
Yeah.
Well, no, it's just it really all came down to how you threw it, where it hit on the Pogs. You just want to flip the Pogs over.
Yeah.
So if you think about it, how just things work, if you were to hit it on the side and flip it,
so this is a little
but if
bit
you're
more
a fucking
skill game,
dumb and just throw it at the pile, then they're not flipping over.
That makes
they're
sense.
just gonna pop up.
Yeah, this was like I was wondering about like Magic the Gathering. Like a lot of people play that.
I never played it.
Neither did I. But I always imagined that if you buy like better decks and you have better cards, that would mean that you're better prepared to fuck somebody up when you play them. But with a Pog, that's not the case. So like if you buy a big, fat, heavy skull Pog, that doesn't mean that your Pog is going to be better than somebody else's.
No.
You have to know how to throw it to flip other people's shit.
The Pogs are all literally just pieces of fucking cardboard with a picture printed on it. That's it. and the slammers were metal or
this
copper
did
or
not
whatever.
entice my Jewishness. Yeah. Fancy cardboard.
Yeah.
I'm in.
Yeah. So we decided to pick like our best like 4 or 5 8-balls, and then what you would do with them is like you would flip them upside down and put them all in one pile, and then you take turns throwing them at the pile. Anything you flip over, you got to keep. So we did like a Rochambeau. He won, and then he threw first.
Okay.
And he flipped the top one over. It was one of his own. It's like, okay. So I fucking take my slammer. It was like a saw blade. It was like cut. It was like a saw blade. Threw that shit down, and I flipped like 6 of them over. And I was like, hell yeah, because it was like all the rest of his and like mine. So there's like 2 left.
Yeah.
He throws down, gets one of them. I throw it on. I get the last of them. So he really only got one of his own pogs back and got one of mine, and I got everything else. He's like, this is stupid. He's like, give him back. And I was like, fuck no.
You guys are playing for keeps.
Right. That's what I told him. I go, we're playing for keeps, dude. He's like, I was like, these are my 8-balls.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't care. He's like, I want them back. And I go, no way, dude. No givesy backsies.
Absolutely
That's
not.
not a fucking thing anymore. And he goes, I'll fucking call the police if you don't give them back. And I go, prove it.
Call the fucking.
He fucking picks up the phone and dials 911.
How old are you?
11.
Indignant fucking 10-year-old.
Maybe 10, 11.
Call the cops, asshole.
Yeah, that's how I go, prove it.
Fuck you, yeah.
So then he literally picks up the phone and dials 911.
Oh, good.
And I was like, and my brain automatically goes, you know what I learned about in school? If you dial 911 and hang up, the police are still going to come no matter what.
And you're going to get arrested.
Yeah, so I fucking hang up the phone. I was like, you fucking idiot. I was like, they're going to come here now. And he goes, good. They're going to arrest you for taking my pogs. I was like, fuck you, pussy. I was like, I won those fair and square within seconds.
Did you call him a pussy?
No.
No.
But
I didn't think so.
I was probably like, butthead.
Yeah. You fucking, well, whatever.
Fart mouth. Yeah, whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, speaking of 90s, what was it, Jerky Boys?
Oh, yeah.
Hey, whatever, sizzle chest.
Yeah. So the cops fucking show up within like minutes.
Of course.
Yeah, 2 fucking cop cars show up, and I was like, oh, dude, you're going to be in so much trouble. And he's like, no,
fucked, brother.
You're getting arrested.
No, you're fucked.
Yeah. And so the cops knock on the door. And again, he lives with just his grandma. Just sweet, adorable old lady.
Yeah.
She fucking opens up the door, and then all of a sudden we hear, we're fucking quiet. We're like, let's see what's going to happen. And all of a sudden she's like, EJ, come here right now.
You're in trouble.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, you're in so much trouble.
You're so fucked right now, EJ.
Yeah, so he like walks over there, and I like slowly
kind of
gonna
rape you so hard. I mean, I know you didn't say that, but yeah.
Same idea.
Yeah.
And so I slowly walk behind him, and the cop's like, what's going on here? And he's like, well, he took my pogs, and he won't give them back. And I was like, no, we are playing for keeps. He lost, and he's trying to do givesy backsies and wants them back. And then the cops are just like,
he is Jewing me out of my pogs right now, officer. Yeah.
Yeah, and you could see the cops are like,
God damn it.
so they're like, okay, what are your guys' names? And then we tell them, it's like, okay, Tony, you go sit in that room. EJ and your grandma come with me. And so, of course, I'm kind of sneaking. And they're basically giving him the talk of, like, the rights and wrongs of calling 911. Yeah.
It's for emergencies, not for fucking
idiot.
hog games.
Yeah. And so then they called me into the other room and then basically made me give him his pogs back.
What?
Yeah. So I had to give him back his fucking 8-balls that I won fair and square. And then I basically gave him the finger, and that was it.
Do you want to call the police station next episode?
And just see what they do about...
Tell them that was wrong.
Yeah.
And how disappointed we are as grown-ups.
Yeah. Listen, I just want to...
It was no takesy-backsies, you fucking pigs.
God. I didn't fucking get that.
Yeah. How stupid do you have to be a fucking cop that you don't understand what takesy-backsies are?
Obviously, you never played Pogs before.
This was 1991, you fucking homo. Yeah, we go hard as shit. I love that.
Yeah, so, what I meant to, I don't know, I brought this all around because Green Day Dookie was playing the entire time while that was going on. So that's where I connected everything.
Man, Green Day was great. Weezer Blue Album was so fucking good. Radiohead was so fucking good. I mean, listen, we're talking 90s, like we're talking about 9 Inch Nails, Rage Against the Machine, Korn, like all that shit was fucking 90s.
All came out in the 90s.
And it was so fucking good. But you know what? Do you remember what the best part about like Deftones, all that shit? You remember what the best part of that was? It was when you could hear somebody strum a guitar in any of those songs from any of those bands, and you could identify who they were.
Like first fucking note.
Yep. You will know a Korn song from the first fucking
Especially
note.
with that bass.
Or Deftones, or Rage. Like, you can hear it, and it's all mishmash now. You can't hear shit.
Yeah.
But back then, it'd be like, oh, you'd hear one fucking note and be like, oh, I've never heard this song before, but I'm 1,000% sure it's Rage Against the Machine.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you remember Jammin' 92.3?
I sure do.
Yeah.
That was my fucking jam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, I had it. I think I still have it somewhere, but back then you can call into the radio show and give them like your like name and like address, and they mailed you out a card. It looks like a credit card, but it says Jammin' 92.3 Kids Club card or something like that. And then just had bullshit numbers, like where the credit card numbers would be on the front. I think I still have that somewhere.
Man, that was the best time. I mean, I know we're waxing poetic a little bit here, but the 90s were the best fucking time.
It was the best decade.
Especially for like growing up when you're a young teen. The 90s was fucking amazing.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Bro, I wore MC Hammer pants.
Garbage
to Bay
bag
Village
pants.
High School.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, dude. And I did the fucking dance. Like in home ec.
Yeah.
Like a goddamn gentleman. Yeah. I
start yelling at the teacher, I'm sorry, this is a bullshit class. You know, like.
Yeah. She's like, are you not going to finish your chiffon cake? And I'm like, you can't touch this. And then just fucking diddled my way around the whole fucking room. Just having MC Hammer time. Like, fuck you. I'm in touch with the black community. Shame on you for not being.
Yeah.
Yeah. Home ec. Go fuck yourself.
Do you remember?
Do you want to make a sock monkey? Do you remember making sock monkeys?
Yeah.
What the? First of all, so racist.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. What a dumb class.
Do you remember your first CD? Whether it was like a gift or you bought it on your own?
Oh, I 100% do.
What was it?
All right. So, my first CD ever. My grandma lived in San Diego, and she had a ton of money. She was very, very wealthy. And when I was like 12, she sent me in Ohio we were just talking about this, 6-disc CD changer with removable speakers on the outsides of it, so you could like make it immersive sound.
Yeah.
And she bought me one CD. And when she was in, I asked her about this afterwards when she sent it to me. And I was like, what made you buy this CD for me? And she was like, I went to the store. I bought this boombox for you. And I'm like, go on, Grandma, with the words boombox. And she's like, I was talking to the young gentleman who was working there. And I told him, I have a grandson who is 12 years old and kind of hates everyone and everything. So what would you suggest for a 12-year-old who is acting out, hates everyone, and hates everything? And this dude gave her fucking
Mariah
Ace
Carey
of Base.
Oh, okay.
That was my first. She sent me that, and I'm like, what the fuck? And she's like, yeah, I talked to this young gentleman. He said you might love it. And I was like, what'd he look like?
Something about seeing a sign. I don't know.
Yeah. And that was my fucking first CD ever. Yeah. Ace of Base. The
That's
sign, baby.
hilarious.
Yeah, that dude fucking hornswoggled her into getting this. He was probably like, I mean, my grandma at the time was like 70 years old. And she's like, my grandson hates everybody and everything. What would you suggest? And this guy's like, fuck you. How about Ace of Base for that? And I'm like, And then Grandma just sends it to me.
Yeah. Well, because like
Ace of Base, baby.
like the Green Day Dookie CD was probably already out for a while, so it's been discounted down to like $7.99.
Oh,
but
yeah,
Ace
I had
of
that
Base
on
just
tape.
came out, so it's like
Yeah.
$11.99. It's like,
Yeah.
let's make fucking sales, baby.
Yeah, I had Dookie on cassette,
Nice.
and then I got Ace of Base. That was my first ever CD.
Nice.
What about you?
My first one was gifted from my mom. Because I used to like, they had like a bunch of CDs, but it was all like Motley Crue, Poison, Bobby Brown, Jackson 5. You know, like there was like a whole mixture between the two of them. But my mom gave me a CD. It was a single CD. Remember singles? They used to have like
do.
2 songs.
Yeah.
Whether it's on a cassette or a CD.
And no backside to them.
No, yeah. Oh, but it was like the CD.
2
Yeah, it's just,
fucking
yeah,
songs.
2 songs.
Yep.
And it was an MC Hammer
Nice.
single that had the Addams Family song and Too Legit to Quit.
Nice.
Yeah. And that was like the coolest fucking thing. Yeah. Too Legit
Hey,
to Quit.
hey.
Yeah.
That was such a good jam.
Yep. And then the Addams Family song.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the first one. And then when I finally got enough allowance, I think the next CD I either bought was Live. Remember the band Live?
I do.
Lightning crashes.
Is that-
No, that's Crash Test Dummies.
Okay.
No, Live was like, lightning crashes, old mother
Oh, that's the one that
dies.
like the placenta falls to the floor. That was such a weird line. Like, it's so hard to get into when you're 13.
Yeah.
Her placenta falls
To
the floor.
Yeah.
Okay. You get a little heavy there, but all right. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Too much.
you know, when we were 10, didn't know what a placenta was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, that's Crash Test Dummies.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it was either that Live CD or it was the Insomniac Green Day album. I don't remember which one I bought first. Which I remember listening to the Insomniac album in the kitchen, drawing, and my mom's cooking and starts hearing some of the words. Like there's a song called Brat, where he's basically waiting for his parents to die so he can get inheritance money.
What a
And she's like,
asshole.
yeah, she's like, what the fuck are you listening to? So she had to pull the CD book out and open it up, which was like a whole full fucking poster.
Read through it.
Yeah, and then find the fucking song
She
and
read the lyrics?
and read the lyrics. Yeah, and I was like, Mom, he's just talking about being so poor that once his parents die, then he'll have money that he can live his life.
Oh my god.
She bought it.
When I was like, I don't even think I was 10. So this was probably like 1990, maybe 1991. I was at my grandma's place when she lived in New York, and my aunt Amy, it was like Christmas, and she got me a bunch of gifts, and I remember I was opening them, and every gift I would feel it and then tell her what it was, and she was so annoyed that I was correct. I'm like, oh, is this a football? And she's like, yeah, it's a fucking football. Would you settle down? Just fucking open it. And I'm like, yeah, whatever. And then she gives me this cassette tape, and I'm like, I have no idea what this is. I open it up, and it was Ice Cube, "Fuck the Police,"
Nice.
in Greenwich Village, Manhattan, New York. Jewish 10-year-old.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, this sounds awesome. Let's listen to it.
The most gangsters Jew.
And I throw it on fucking grandma's ones and twos. And it's like, fuck the police coming straight out the underground. And
Yeah.
I'm like, looking at my mom, young player got a proud because I'm brown. And I'm like, my mom's like, absolutely not. And she ran over, she opened the fucking cassette drawer and broke the tape in half.
Oh, man.
And was like,
Nope.
absolute, enjoy your football.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't want a football. And she's like, you're
I
not
want
li-
an NWA.
You're not listening to this. And I was like, because he's black. And she's like, we'll talk about it when we get home. There's a lot to unpack.
Yeah.
Because he's black, Mom. And she's like, let's go. Could you fall asleep immediately?
Amazing.
Yeah.
Well, how about the next category?
Okay.
This is what, my turn? You picked music, right?
I did.
Okay.
Let's go, baby.
Let's see what else we got in here. Survey says, oh, I got another fashion. Fads and fashions. Let's
Okay.
see. We did talk about Jankos last time. The first thing,
Junkos.
Junkos or Jinkos. The next thing
What do you mean Jinkos?
That's what they were pronounced as.
No,
well, growing up,
Junkos or Jankos.
No,
they're not called Jinkos.
Jinkos.
First of all, racist.
Well, how is that racist?
To the Tony.
I didn't say
Chinese.
I didn't say Jinkos. I said Jinkos.
Oh, you just did, bitch.
All right, canceled.
Booyah.
Canceled.
Well, it's been a nice time enjoying all of you 11 fans until Tony ruined it.
We got like 21 now.
All of you 21 fans until Tony ruined it with his.
Oh, you said it. You said it.
We are the same.
We're both getting canceled.
Yeah, that's fine.
No, it's Jinkos.
No, it's Jankos.
Oh my gosh.
Or it's Jankos.
No, Jinkos.
No.
Yeah.
Jankos.
I don't think so.
Or Junkos.
We're gonna have
Jankos.
to
It's definitely Jankos. Do you want me to call No-Tech right now? Because I think he's wearing those currently.
He probably is. I don't even know who I could call right now who would actually.
Oh, what about Panic? You know Panic?
I don't have his number though.
Oh, neither do I.
Hold on. Let me try calling.
Let's not call anybody.
No?
No. But Panic would know.
All right.
Panic, you're on deck.
He definitely would know.
He is currently
100%.
wearing those. He's also wearing a gas mask and dancing like this.
Oh yeah.
Currently, like flailing his arms about.
We'll ask him the next time we see him, and then we'll do an update on the next episode.
Cool. When is that going to be? When we see Panic next time?
I don't know. I feel like I occasionally run into him.
Do you?
Here and there.
That's nice.
Yeah.
No, I don't.
Okay. So back to it.
Fashion.
Fad or fashion bowl cut. Or the first two things was bowl cut and hacky sack. Those are the first two things I kept in mind.
Okay.
But bowl cut, fashion, I had a bowl cut. Did you have a bowl cut?
For almost half of my life.
Yeah.
Yeah. So much time with a bowl cut.
Yeah.
So much
Same.
fucking time.
I have so many photos of me with a bowl cut.
Dude, all right. You see, first of all, I mean, you know, I wear a hat all the time now, but obviously I have short hair, and it's like, you know, trimmed on the sides, and I kind of push it forward in the front.
Mm-hmm. A little bit longer on top.
This is the second haircut I've ever had in my entire life. I've had 2 haircuts my whole life. Bowl cut and this.
So then, and you just started doing this like last year,
no,
right?
fuck off, asshole. I started doing it like a gentleman when I was like 16, but before that, it was a straight two.
Oh yeah.
Like, when you say bowl cut, are you talking about the shape of your hairdo? Are you talking about a real bowl cut?
Well, I'm not talking about people putting like an actual bowl on my head and then cutting it around. But the haircut was literally, it was that. It was cut to look basically like that.
Okay. So I had real deal bowl cut.
You actually had a bowl on your head?
Yeah, dude. They would put like a metal fucking bowl on your head and just trim around it.
That's ridiculous. Oh, it's because it was at a barber shop.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
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 I think we went to like Great Clips or Best Cuts or whatever the fuck was around back then.
First of all, if you're going to a place to get your hair cut and the first word is complimentary, it's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
Yeah. Listen, those bowl cuts were super rad.
Cuts.
Yeah.
I would love a haircut. How's it going to be? And they're like, super. And I'm like, awesome.
Sold.
I would love, I've never been here before. I would enjoy a haircut. What do you charge for a cut? And they're like, it's $8, but it'll be the best. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
The best. You can't do better than the best.
Yeah. The best is the best.
The top. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I will take that $8 haircut.
Yeah, absolutely.
However, I will say, I know we're getting way off topic. Haircuts for me are moderately the most uncomfortable thing in the entire world.
Because, like, dealing with the people. You don't know
this person.
No.
And then it gets really intimate.
I think we've talked about this.
But
yeah.
then
there's always the same 5 questions or 3 questions.
And then they're wearing the apron, and then they're like, gut is always touching. Like, I'm not fat shaming chicks at Supercuts.
Yeah.
Fuck. Wow.
It sounds like it, though.
I'm not, but I am. But like, I don't want to touch tummies while you're cutting my hair. It's weird.
Well, we're not touching tummies. I mean, it's not like she's leaning around and then also pushing her belly against your belly.
But she is, though. She like leans in like, oh, can I trim up your eyebrows? And I'm like, get your fucking gut off my gut. Like,
Wait, no one's trimming up your eyebrows.
You never get your eyebrows trimmed?
What the fuck are you talking about? You get your eyebrows trimmed at the barber or hair salon?
Yeah, I do.
For real?
100%. Do you not?
No, baby girl, these are all natural.
First of all, what do you mean? These are natural, baby.
Yeah.
You don't have to trim them?
No.
You have the original hairs that only grow to the perfect length.
Yes.
And then stop.
Abso-fucking-lutely.
Are you an imbecile?
I swear to God, I have never
They
trimmed...
just grow to the perfect point of attraction and then stop.
Yeah, that's it.
That is the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
I mean, obviously they're going to be falling out and new ones are growing in, but I've never fucking trimmed them, not even once.
What about your eyelashes?
Trimming my eyelashes? Are you fucking R-word?
Am I the... I've had this conversation.
You're not trimming your eyelashes.
I swear to God.
You're trimming your eyelashes.
100%.
That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard.
All right. I know. And I've had this conversation with Jen and other females, and they agree. The eyelashes part.
Yeah, that's fucking absurd.
Eyebrows.
Oh, yeah, of course, eyebrows. But people do that all the time.
Yeah.
They don't have a fucking eyelashes store to trim in the mall.
Don't you ever, like... look at things and then you see your eyelashes like fluttering about?
Yeah.
Then
my eyelashes, like I have eyelashes that fall out all the time.
Bro.
People, like, I'm about to ready to start my own fucking business of fake eyelashes.
Can I tell you something?
Save all those, put them in a jar, and get a fucking piece of sticky tape, double-sided, and fucking stick the eyelashes on there.
Because it fucking sucks.
Scottish tape.
Yeah, Scottish. Ugh, those fucking turds. I noticed your eyelashes outside when we were having a smoke.
Yeah. And?
Fabulous.
Thank you.
Huge.
Yeah. I was a gift from 8-pound, 7-ounce baby Jesus.
Nice. But they never get in your vision? Like, you never are like...
Sometimes they stick together. Because they will, like, sometimes they catch, so I have to, like... And
You've never considered taking, like, those fucking... tiny scissors? I don't even know what those are for.
I don't tiny scissors. Okay.
You don't. Oh, first of all, I
for
will
like
not
those
be,
like made for like.
I will not be made fun of for having tiny scissors.
Well, I don't know what those are for except
Neither
for maybe
do
cutting babies
teeth with
like
them.
an infant like fingernails.
I will not dignify that. No.
I don't know what baby scissors are for. Is this for like ladies like getting ready to go out and do stuff? Like lady maintenance?
I don't know. What the fuck?
You own a pair?
I don't know what
do you use them for?
To trim my fucking eyelashes.
Oh, yeah.
You idiots.
No, there's going to be times that, and I don't really realize that I do it until after the fact, but like I'll be just doing nothing, talking or whatever, and I will go like this, and I'll like spread my eyelids apart.
Wouldn't it
because
be
my
amazing if you
eyelashes
just
stick together.
trim those off real quick?
No fucking.
What do you mean no?
This is beauty, dude.
Bro.
It's called fashion. Look it up.
Fuck off.
It's beauty. Over.
The beast. Yeah, I get it. Yeah. Fuck you.
Yeah.
I was looking forward to us getting into a fight today, actually. Literally, when I was getting my tattoo earlier, I was like, I think Tony and I might get in a fight.
We need to start a fight today.
We haven't been in a fight. We're like, this is like 9 and 10 for episodes.
Yeah.
That's, if we're doing on average an hour, hour and a half, we're like 15 hours in, and we have not crossed each other yet.
No, I think we've only got loud over something else. I think a few episodes back. I don't remember what it was. Oh, it was the Fanta thing. That's the only thing I feel like I remember.
The what thing? I'm sorry.
The Fanta?
I couldn't understand you because that's not how you pronounce that.
Hold on, let me get closer to the mic. Fanta.
Oh.
Fanta?
Oh, because you wanna.
I want a Fanta.
You don't want. You don't.
I don't.
You don't want a Fanta.
Yeah,
You fucking
exactly.
asshole.
I don't want a
Fuck
Fanta.
Fuck you.
Yeah. So I don't know. That's weird with the baby scissors.
Yeah. I do.
bowl cuts.
And you know what? Nobody does that. Yeah, and the bowl cut. Again, I had that until I was like 15 years old. And then I didn't want a bowl cut anymore. And my barber was like, hey, let's try something new. And gave me the current haircut I have.
Yeah.
And I've had that for 27 years.
Yeah.
I've had 2 haircuts in my whole fucking life.
Amazing.
Yeah.
All right. You ready to get to the next category?
Fuck yeah.
All right. It's your turn.
Good. I fucking love my turn.
Yeah, I bet. What do you got?
Places.
Places. So this is like what we had mentioned before. That was kind of like the mall, like, or like hangout spots. Or it could be like places that used to be around that shut down. You know, like
Sure.
Toys R Us, Pizza Hut, etc.
Toys R Us is a great one. Do you remember, and I know we talked about Sam Goody, places like that. Do you remember My Generation?
I feel like that was like a small temporary music store also before like all the big boys took over.
Yeah, in the 90s. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Yeah. Only reason I remember that place, and I don't want to go into a somber place, so I'll make this a very quick interlude here, is when 9/11 happened, I was going to classes at L3C, and I stopped at My Generation, and I bought the new Slayer album. And I was listening to that, turned it off, was listening to Howard Stern. Howard Stern was talking about what happened with 9/11, and I was like, this is the worst joke I've ever heard, and I turned it off. I was walking into L3C, this woman's walking out, and she's like, do you believe those motherfuckers? And I'm like, yeah, you're crazy as fuck. No, I don't. Whatever. And it turns out 9/11 happened, and I left, and I was listening to Slayer again, and they were singing their song from that album, and it was so heavy, like the Slayer song. I'll show you what I've known all this time. God hates us all. And then I watched one of the towers fall, and I was like, holy shit. And that's my Generation story.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was wild. Yeah.
You know,
Also, I bought Aphex Twin. Do you remember that? Bro.
it kind of like rings
my
a
God.
bell, but not really.
Okay, I'm going to show you. They have a, first of all, here's how good this is. I bought from My Generation, I bought a VHS tape of their music video. It was 14 minutes long.
Wow.
Yeah. It is wild. It's called Window Liquor.
Window liquor.
Yeah, which is fucking great. And it is just like 2 pimps in a limo having a time, spraying champagne, hanging out with chicks, time of their lives. And then about 8 minutes into the video, they turn into like alien zombie ladies, but still have cool tits that are still spraying champagne on their tits. And it was awesome.
I feel like there was like a lot of videos like that in the 90s, just
Yeah,
spraying
dude.
champagne
Oh
on,
my
on girls' tits.
Bro, I can't wait to show it to you when this is over. It's gonna be so fucking good.
Dude, so it's like that, like speaking like that, because My Generation was in the mall, wasn't it?
No, it was on like a side mall. This was in Westlake. So it was like a side strip mall, not like
Okay, not
Great
the
Northern
actual mall.
Yeah.
Because for some reason I was thinking that was like inside. It was kind of making me thinking about the food court again, and I was just thinking about how like we were talking about Sbarro in the last episode, and that like those still exist, but it's called something else.
Sure.
And same with do you remember like the Sakyo Japan, which is like
Bro.
The fucking chicken teriyaki mall chicken. The fucking samples.
Double meat.
Oh yeah.
Double sauce.
How many times did you make laps around the fucking food court just to get free samples?
It's the only way I got cardio.
Yeah. And just getting like free samples of the chicken teriyaki.
Yep.
I think
they're like, hey, have you tried the chicken teriyaki? And I'm like, no. And they're like, I've seen you
You're gonna love it
35 times in the last 20 minutes. And I'm like, listen, Saganaki, fucking
same
put it on the fucking stick.
same thing though. Like the Sakyo Japan still exists, but it's a completely different name. It's like now like Sarkio or something like that.
Yeah, that was my favorite.
Yeah,
When we
that shit
talked
was
about that
so
before,
good.
Yeah, with mall stuff, and I was like Orange Julius, Sakio, that was my fucking jam.
Yeah, that chicken teriyaki was so good.
Double meat for 99 cents?
Right.
Are you out of your mind?
Right.
Like, you're losing money if you don't get double meat.
Oh, yeah. And then also when it comes down, when the guy gets all the meat on there and he goes, you want sauce? And you're like, yeah. And you're like, how many scoops? Like, I don't know, 2, 3, 4. Keep them coming. Yeah. And then just fucking,
and he would sauce them up from so high.
Oh, yeah.
He'd just be like,
all the way across. Yeah, it's like at a bar, like pouring like down like the shots, like down like a line, but it's like
And
that
then-
with the fucking teriyaki sauce with all of the fucking bowls there.
The best part for me was, do you remember, so when you would order that and you would get double meat, they would stick like a toothpick with a colored frill on the end of it
to
into
let
your
them
fucking
know
styrofoam to know, so
extra
you know
meat
it's
or
double
no
meat.
veggies.
Right.
Yeah.
So it'd be like double meat, double meat, double meat, double meat, double meat, and then there'd be one person who couldn't afford
The double meat.
and there'd be no toothpick in there. And we'd all be like, what a fucking loser. Like, ugh, gross. What a fucking homeless piece of shit. Yeah.
You know what's and you know what's funny because like constantly walking around and we had like there's some malls that have like the movie theaters that are attached to it. I think actually Great Northern has it now.
They did.
Well, yeah, maybe. Yeah, you're right, but it was in a different spot. I think Strongsville always had it, but Westgate Mall, theirs was like on the back end of the parking lot. And the last episode when we were talking about like the theater stuff, I was thinking about, do you remember like when you'd sit down and then like the movie's about to start and then like it gets dark and then there was like the Regal Cinema Theater, like the roller coaster preview?
Yes.
Okay. Listen,
I'm
gonna pull this up right now. You ready to check this out?
Uh-huh.
All right, let's go. Let's enjoy this together.
Hell yeah.
Welcome to Regal
Oh my God.
Cinemas.
Yes. It's like sitting in the roller
there's giant
coaster.
popcorn on the side and a giant soda. Yeah.
And like the film is like the track for the roller coaster.
Containers. And remember, food certificates are available for any special occasion.
Any special occasion.
Enjoy the show.
The raisinets on the right.
I would 100% get a hand job from the chick making the voiceover. She sounds sultry. Oh, look at that Pepsi. Look at those gooberies.
Going all the way around the track like a fucking roller coaster ride. You can get a hand job from her and she's like, yeah, look at those goobers. Look at that popcorn
Yeah, you like that goober?
Yeah.
Don't call me goober.
Oh yeah, like this was like we're about to watch fucking like Mighty Ducks or whatever.
Oh,
like,
dude, yeah. It's about to be a thing.
Yeah.
I don't remember if I made it up or if I read or heard that it was going to be a thing, but I remember believing that there was going to be a technology where they were going to be able to read all of your faces in the movie theater and then put them in that roller coaster ride, like on the side of it, so you could see everybody's face.
That was supposed to be like a thing, like in the 90s. They're trying to do something.
I might have made that up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I have no idea.
I mean, I'd never heard that before, but
pretty sure I told that to a chick I was trying to think.
So yeah,
I was like, "Hey, you want to know about technology?
I'm your man.
I know a lot about technology."
Yeah.
Yeah. Guess what? Guess what's gonna happen next? Besides this hand job, all of our faces are going to be on the sides of those windows. And she's like, is it really? And I was like, just stroke it faster. Yeah, but
make sure you're smiling.
It's certainly, yeah.
I'm smiling.
Yeah.
Make sure you're smiling.
Yeah, so good. So good for you when it hits your lips.
Okay, well, next category. What did we just went from fucking like bowl cuts to fucking malls, movie theaters? I think this is probably you, right?
Yeah.
You're up. Got a couple in there. Choose or die. Choose or die. What do you got?
I have
What is it?
tits.
Oh, you got some more tits.
Hell yeah, dude.
Okay.
Listen, I've been wanting to talk about this so much. I don't remember. Did we talk about this on the cast, or did we talk about this when we were having a smoke about my favorite pair of tits from the 90s? Because for me, it is Kathy fucking Ireland.
That was literally the beginning of this episode.
Okay.
Yeah, we talked about, you said like the crush. So yours was Kathy Ireland.
Bro.
Mine was Christina Ricci. We talked about Pam Anderson last episode. I mean, I got other crushes back in the days, but you go first.
I'll go two more.
Okay.
And then I would like your insight.
I can give you two more. You go first.
Okay. First of all, this was a initial crush from the 90s, but listen, if you're listening, sweetheart, I fucking think you're smoking hot right now. I would leave Jen for you. Elizabeth Hurley.
Elizabeth Hurley.
Bro.
Wow.
Holy fuck. Has
Not what
she
I was
been
expecting.
hot for like 40 fucking years? She's so hot.
From Austin Powers to Bedazzled. I don't even.
Bedazzled. Oh my god.
Yeah.
With that red bikini. She was so in her
She
British
played
accent.
the devil.
Oh my god, that British accent. I don't know. It sounds like she'd have fun with my balls. Yeah. I don't know if that's mean. I don't mean it to be mean, but yeah.
I don't remember what else she's done besides those two.
That's fine. Those are good. And then the real 90s winner is Topanga.
Topanga was a babe. Did have a crush on her.
Fishel, is that her name?
I forget.
I think it's Denise
But
Fishel.
there was, like at that time,
Lips, hips, and tits.
it was Topanga
Oh my god, she's
and-
so fucking hot.
and Winnie Cooper.
You know, I never got into Winnie Cooper.
Really?
Yeah, she was a little vanilla for me.
Winnie Cooper was cute. She was like that 90s cute. Like
Yeah.
Topanga was like 90s babe. Winnie Cooper was like 90s cute.
Yeah.
And then you get to like Kelly Kapowski, and that was like like major 90s babe. But Winnie Cooper as an adult, have you seen her? She's still
No. Kelly Kapowski, is that Tiffany
geez,
Amber
sorry.
Thiessen?
having yes. Yeah.
Bro, I jerked off to her quite a time. Oh, she was super hot.
Sorry, I'm having a
She's
fucking mic
been
issues here again.
hot for a super long amount of time, but she got into some shit I didn't care for, like a cooking show.
I honestly don't remember her really doing
It's like called like
anything as like
Cooking
an
with
adult.
Kapowski, and it was awful. She's
And is it
not a
supposed to
good.
just be like a pun off of the fucking like
Yeah,
Saved by the Bell shit?
She's not like a good cook, and it was just awful. She was just pandering for money. And why do you need money? You're Kelly fucking Kapowski. Just sell your fucking knockers.
Well, I mean, I guess she could, but I mean the royalties are gonna fucking probably run out of her Saved by the Bell days.
Yeah. What about Cindy Crawford?
I mean, she
What
was
a
like
fucking babe.
she was a staple when we were kids, but we also didn't know any better. We didn't know what the
Yeah.
other options were. Like for me, so and this might be like more of like a niche, but like, did you ever seen the movie Little Giants?
With Rick Moranis?
Yes.
Yes.
His daughter in the movie,
Gross.
Icebox.
Uh-huh.
Dude, she was a fucking babe. I remember having a crush on her
She
when I was
like 8.
I was also like 8. And then like
What's her name?
I don't remember. I mean, I could pull her up, but like, I remember like seeing like pictures of her, like, I don't know, like 15 years later, and they're like, check out these people like from like the 90s movies you used to see, that this is what they look like now. And I was like, holy shit, this is fucking Icebox.
This is like, somebody asked me the other day, they were like, do you like Natalie Portman? And I was like, I love Natalie Portman. And they're like, what's the hottest Natalie Portman she's ever been? And I was like, professional. And they were like, she was 11. And I go, so was I.
Yeah.
So
see, that's when it's the only time that's okay to say that. Yeah. So like, I don't know, like here's a photo of her like when we were kids, right? Like, and when she was in,
she's
in
a little tomboyish.
Yeah.
Hold on. One more time. Click the one on the bottom left. She looks a little Down syndrome.
Oh, well, that's her angry face. That's when she's getting mad at what was the Devon Sawa.
You're gonna plow that?
She had a crush on Devon Sawa. Well, when I was retarded. Also 8, then I was into it. But now let's see. Yeah, I mean, seems pretty cool.
Oh my god, we're gonna get so canceled.
Yeah, so canceled.
I was loving fucking 8-year-old retards.
So, but like this is like that's like her like as an adult on the right there. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, sure. Listen, I'm more for darker hair. I'm not really big on blondes. I like darker hair, but I also like that just like that natural, just like that girl next door kind of cuteness, you know.
I don't mind it.
And well, and I guess after that, I mean, you mentioned 2. I think my other one would probably be Jennifer Love Hewitt.
Oh my god.
Yeah, Jennifer Love Hewitt was great.
So fucking hot.
Fucking Can't Hardly Wait.
Oh yeah.
I mean, obviously
her tits got fucking out of control, amazing as it progressed.
I mean, obviously she got huge off of I Know What You Did Last Summer, but Can't Hardly Wait, especially when you start getting caught up in the story.
Yeah.
And you're like, yeah, she is a total babe.
All right. What about Amy Jo Johnson, the Pink Power Ranger?
Oh, yeah. I thought she was a babe growing up.
Okay, so did I. So I was having a really... All right, so I have a terrible doctor. Her name is Tiffany.
Okay.
And she prescribes me nothing but edibles and mushrooms.
So fake doctor.
Yep, fake doctor.
Mm-hmm.
And I enjoyed some of my medications, some edibles and some mushrooms. And I was thinking about Amy Jo Johnson, the Pink Power Ranger. And I was like, oh my God. I remember her being super hot and super fit. But most of the time when I fantasized about how hot she was is when she was full Pink Power Ranger mode, which would mean she was wearing a mask, right?
Oh.
And like a pink
outfit. Yeah, her pink outfit. Yeah.
So let's be honest. That was not Amy Jo Johnson. That was probably like a Korean dude that was fucking wearing that pink shit.
Yeah, probably.
And I'm looking at his ass and stroking my dick like, yeah, you like that, Amy? So
to a little Korean guy.
Yeah, dude. I went into this.
You don't know any better when you're fucking 10 years old.
No.
Oh, wait.
I was 12.
Well, you said you're eating mushrooms, so wait, was this recent?
Yeah.
That you were eating mushrooms
recently,
and then rewatching through?
No, I wasn't rewatching. I was thinking about jerking off to the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers and how Amy Jo Johnson was the pink one.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, dude. And I've seen her face, and she's good looking.
Mm-hmm.
But I mostly looked at her butt in those spandex pink pants.
You mean his butt?
His Korean butt.
His little Korean butt.
Yeah, dude. I fucking rubbed my dick to this Korean dude. Probably a bunch. Fuck. I'm not gay, I don't think.
I don't think. But I might be.
Listen, I'm down for whatever.
What about Neve Campbell? I feel like she was also another like 90s kind of heartthrob.
Yeah, I don't know. She was very heartthrobby in the 90s, but she was never like I'd never sexualized Neve Campbell.
No, I mean, I was more into Jennifer Love Hewitt.
Yeah, she looked more like my therapist. And Jennifer Love Hewitt, I'm like, fucking look at those titties. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
rub them out to Jennifer. JLH.
We had like all those like during like that Scream and I Know What You Did Last Summer, and there was also What's Her Nuts, Sarah Michelle Gellar, but I wasn't really a fan.
Neither.
Again,
Oh, you don't
really,
like blondes?
I'm not really big into blondes.
Neither.
Like Cameron Diaz, I was all about.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Crushed.
Well,
but typically,
she's a different blonde. Yeah.
I mean, like I already said, like Christina Ricci.
What do you think about? We mentioned it earlier. What do you think about Drew Barrymore?
I love Drew Barrymore. I think she's
in a sexualizing way.
Yeah,
like,
I think she's fucking.
You would plow
for
Drew?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Like I think she's fucking like
I don't think I would.
No?
No, I think I'd cuddle and I would listen. I would touch her tits a lot, but I don't think
just gonna touch her boobs.
Yeah.
And then what? Dry hump?
No.
What are you doing after you touch her boobs?
No, I would cuddle like a gentleman. I would just put an arm.
Boobs?
I would put an arm over her while we slept
spooning.
next to. Yeah, we would spoon.
Okay.
I would knock around a couple nips, and then leave before she wakes up.
This sounds like a lot better than when you had Garrison to the fuck, marry, kill.
Yeah, you're right.
Because I feel like spooning him's. Ugh.
Yeah.
Yeah, Drew Barrymore. No, I always thought that she was. I mean, when she was a child, didn't really cross my mind. But like when I started seeing her and like, Wedding Singer was fine. It was more like 50 First Dates where I was like,
agreed.
And then
now, Wedding Singer was a great movie.
It's an amazing movie.
Adam Sandler's solo song.
The Kill Me Please. Yeah.
Kill me please.
Yeah.
I wanna fucking die. It's so good.
Yeah, then you have John Lovitz going, he's losing his mind.
Oh my God, it is John Lovitz.
And I'm reaping all the benefits.
And when?
What's he like when he does like
Linda.
When like John Lovitz does like the preview if they want to hire him or not, and he's like, this is Michael Moore saying that's no sock in my crotch.
Oh my God, you sound exactly like him, by the way.
John Lovitz is a fucking underrated actor.
100%. And the Jewiest of all Jews.
Oh my gosh.
Such a Jew.
Have you seen Benchwarmers?
Oh, yeah. Like,
oh my God.
In the last 3 weeks.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
So funny. It's always so funny. And it's a great cast, too. I mean, like...
Oh, yeah.
Like, you don't get Rob Schneider leading on roles often because he can't do it. But this one was fucking perfect. But he's got supporting cast with David Spade.
Yeah. Hilarious, by the way. David Spade. Underrated.
Jared Heater, is that his name? Does Napoleon Dynamite?
Yeah.
And then fucking John Lovitz.
Oh my God.
And Nick Swartzman.
Oh yeah, Swartzen.
Swartzen. Swartzen. I was confusing him with Jason Schwartzman.
Mm-hmm.
Different Jew.
Bro. So fucking good.
Yeah.
John Lovitz is so fucking funny.
Try to keep it under $1 million. That's all I have on me.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's the richest person ever. He has that like robot fucking
butler.
Yeah. Oh my God. So fucking good.
And then also Little Nicky, when he's the pervert in the beginning of the movie, he's like, the little kid's answering, he's like, hey, Jimmy, he's like, why don't you go away so this big horny bird can watch some more of Mommy? He's like, who is this?
That's one of my favorite answers. Who is this? I love that.
It's like, hello, Mr. Devil. I like your cape.
There was one time, way off subject, when I was in North Ridgeville for this chick. Her name was Tasia, which should be indicative of a bad idea to go to her house for a party. And I went there. It was with Robert Duckworth and a bunch of people we worked with. And I walked outside, and it was my sister's birthday. So I called my sister, and I'm talking to her on the phone, wishing her happy birthday. And a cop pulls up next to me, and he's like, "Hey, do you have ID?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And he, long story short, ends up checking my ID, says I have a warrant out for my arrest, and he's taking me to Westlake from North Ridgeville. And I'm like, no, you don't. And he's like, yeah, we do. And I'm like, great. Can you at least drive me back to this house, this party that I'm at, so I can tell them I'm leaving? And he's like, yeah, we can do that. So I pull back up to this house in handcuffs in the back of a fucking police car with Robert Duckworth. And he's like, what's happening? And I'm like, I'm being fucking arrested. I'll be in Westlake. Get me out in 2 hours.
Yeah.
So 2 hours later, I have 1% on my phone. It's about to die. And they're like, sorry, we fucked up that warrant shit. You're good to go. And I'm like, thank you. I need to leave, but I don't have my car because you guys drove me here. And they're like, yeah, you have to call someone. I'm like, all right. I pull up my phone. It's almost 5 o'clock in the morning. Who am I going to call? Nad. He's the only person I know who'd be up at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Not wrong.
So I call Nad. And he's like, hello? And I'm like, Nad, it's Dave. I'm at the fucking police station in Westlake. I got arrested. It was bullshit. This warrant, it's nonsense. I was in North Ridgeville. Blah, blah. 3.5 minutes, I go on into this tirade about why I'm there. And I'm like, I need you to come pick me up. And he goes, who is this? And I go, listen, asshole. And then the phone cuts off. And the cop looks at me and goes, that's your time. And I go, motherfucker. Like, I'm going to just sit here for 4 more hours till you release me. And then I'm going to take a bus home. And then an hour later, Ned shows up.
Nice.
Yeah.
He still pulled through.
He did.
So he was trying to bust your balls, but...
Who is this? Fuck you, Ned. Boom. Phone's out. Good old Ned.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, he's a good, bad friend.
He's a good boy.
He is. We have a lot of good friends.
Yeah. Well, bud,
Is that it?
yeah, we're basically at time.
No shit.
Yeah. Time flies when you're having 90s fun.
All right.
Or rad time.
All right. Last thing I want to say about the 90s.
Okay.
And then we can go. One of my favorite movies of all time, Rudy.
Rudy was a good one. Sean Ashton.
Bro, so fucking good. By the way, Sean Astin, what a uncelebrated career that dude has had.
Oh, yeah.
He's been, he was in Lord of the Rings. He was in
Goonies?
Rudy. He was in fucking Stranger Things. He was Bob. Like, bro.
He was in 51st Dates. I mean, he's had a ton.
Sean Astin.
Let's actually look up to see how many movies. What's his IMDb and how many movies he's been in. You know, while we're talking about this, you know who else I also feel is very underrated, but I think it's under the radar, and I think it's on purpose. Is Elijah Wood. Elijah Wood. I mean, granted, I mean he's been also a child actor. From like Searching for Bobby Fischer and all.
Oh my god, that movie was so fucking. Oh my god, The Good Son was so fucking good. Mm-hmm. Nobody remembers that. I love that you brought that up.
Oh yeah,
nobody remembers that. That movie was
Macaulay Culkin.
Macaulay Culkin.
Yeah,
yeah, that was such a great. At the very end, I want to. I mean, are we dicks for spoiling?
No, it's a fucking 30 years old. Yeah,
fuck off. That was a great end.
Yeah. It was a great movie. But also what I love about Elijah Wood is that he did, do his time, and he's probably made a ridiculous amount of money, not only off of the Lord of the Rings, but also the Sin City and everything else prior to.
Can I tell you something I'm not proud of?
What?
I've never seen the movie Sin City before.
Oh, I mean, like, it's fine if you didn't see it. I mean, it's a cool movie. It's just
I've heard it's like iconic.
It is. It's like one of those like comic book kind of movies, but like before all this comic book Marvel shit all exploded.
But it's got like Jessica Alba in like panties.
No, there's literally like 100 fucking big names in there. But it was. I mean, it's a pretty cool movie. But like, what I like is that now he's like Nicolas Cage and just plays weird off the wall characters, and then the movies are usually actually like really fucking good. Sean Ashton, 173 movies.
Get right out of town.
173.
Wow.
Yeah, and
that is a storied career.
Yeah, I mean his first TV movie was 1981 called "Please Don't Hit Me, Mom."
Stop it.
I swear to God.
It's called Please Don't Hit Me, Mom.
Yeah. Because then he did another TV movie and then The Goonies.
Okay, I have a great question for you before we outro.
Okay.
Do you remember the movie Rudy?
Yeah. It was the football movie.
Uh-huh. Do you remember the black janitor that was motivating Rudy to move on through his career?
No, it's been quite some time since I've actually sat and watched the movie.
Okay. The black janitor that progressed him along was in a TV show called Rock, R-O-C, and
Never heard of it.
that was from the 90s, and it was a show about this bald black guy that was a janitor and him taking care of his family.
So it was like a throwback to that
Yeah, like, do you remember the dinosaurs
show? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
It was like the same time as that.
Okay.
Yeah.
The dinosaur show was
Oh man.
also really
We're gonna
sweet.
eat some
Not the
edibles,
mama.
and we're gonna watch not the mama, and we're gonna watch Rock. No, we're not.
No, probably
No,
not.
it doesn't sound that good.
No. All right, bud. Well,
Holy shit.
that's the episode. So
You know what I would love right now?
what?
To hear a theme song.
Oh yeah, I mean we have to play it
That
out.
would be my favorite thing right now.
Yeah. So listen, everyone, thanks for listening. Part 2,
Yeah.
90s.
Sorry I got strep throat.
Yeah, we gotta
I-
skip out, but yeah, listen, this is fine.
Fuck yeah.
We'll have the
Fucking A right, it's fine. Mm-hmm. Cheerios, kiddos.
so yeah, thanks for listening.
See you in a few Mondays.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's it really. Okay. Bye-bye.